Hello everyone, Zach the Traveling Man here, and recently I asked my followers over on Instagram to send me their cruise questions. I wanted to give my hot takes on cruising, and in this video, I'm coming at you from Onboard Celebrity Silhouette. So what better place than a cruise ship to answer your questions submitted to me about cruising? So let's get this adventure of Q&A started. So one of my favorite things about having a YouTube channel is the community that I've been able to create through it, both here on YouTube, but also on Instagram. So make sure if you're not following me on Instagram yet, that you please go over and do that. We're looking to grow that community. It's just a great way for me to keep in touch with people who watch my videos. Like I said, I'm here on board the Celebrity Silhouette, so I thought I would go ahead and answer the first question. Is the retreat on an Edge class ship, Edge class being Celebrity Cruises, worth the money? And if you can get it for a price that you can afford, absolutely. I have been fortunate enough to sail in the retreat on an Edge class ship once, and that was on Celebrity Edge down in Australia. I was actually in an Aqua Sky Suite. Absolutely loved it. And I think the best way that you can get up into the retreat is to book a stateroom, book the minimum stateroom that you're going to be able to accept. So if you want a balcony, you want to make sure you're in a balcony, book a balcony stateroom, a veranda, and then try to do the move up bid process, because that's what I did and was able to get into the retreat that way. Now I will say, because cruises are selling more and more full now, if you want to make sure that you're definitely going to be in the retreat, make sure that you book the retreat. But I think moving up to the retreat is the best way to get it at the cheapest price, the best value. Now, you're not going to get the perks like whatever drink package is included or Wi-Fi is included if you move up. Whatever the original booking you had, whatever perks you got with that, those transfer to that move up booking. But if you do want to get, again, a lesser price for the retreat, I recommend you move up. But is it worth the money buying it outright? That's hard to answer because I don't know how much you'll be paying. But for me, I can't imagine paying tens of thousands of dollars for a cruise. That's just hard for me to justify. But I think if you're wanting the best experience possible, a relaxed, laid-back cruising experience where you're going to be pampered, absolutely. And on the Edge ships, you just can't beat staying in the retreat. I mean, they've got all the modern luxuries, all the amenities that you would want. I absolutely love it. So, I mean, if the price is right for you, absolutely book it. I think that staying in it is certainly worth it. The experience is certainly worth it. And the next question is, what are my thoughts on Holland America? And unfortunately, I do not have any thoughts on Holland America because I've not been on Holland America yet, believe it or not. But that is the cruise line that people recommend or request that I go on the most. And so it's certainly on my list. Unfortunately, I don't know if it'll be on my 2025 list or not, but I need to make it a priority in 2026 because I have heard a lot of good things. So stay tuned on that one. Someone has asked that I talk about the different loyalty programs and which one you think is the best. And they say, also, I just hit Elite. So Elite status, they're talking about Celebrity Cruises. So first of all, congratulations to you. That's very exciting. It's always cool to move up a notch in the loyalty programs. So all cruise lines now have a loyalty program, and that's basically they're just rewarding you. It's like everything has a loyalty program, right? Like airlines and hotels. They're all so different though, and yet so much the same. I'm most familiar with Celebrity because I've cruised the most with Celebrity, but I do have pretty high status also on Carnival because I've sailed a lot with Carnival in the past. I think the perks on Celebrity, I'm now Elite Plus with Celebrity, and they have the Elite cocktail happy hour. I can get free sodas, so I don't have to buy a beverage package. You get something like a discount on the Wi-Fi. I think it's 30% as Elite Plus. There is like the Captain's Club breakfast that they have. So I think that Celebrity does a lot. And also Royal Caribbean, because Royal Caribbean and Celebrity are in the same family. They're under the Royal Caribbean group. They do actually reciprocate and provide you, they match status basically between those cruise lines. So I think Celebrity Cruises and Royal Caribbean, if you're gonna sail between those two lines, that's probably your best bet. And I think that Royal actually does really good because now I have like Diamond Plus status with them because they've matched my Elite Plus on Celebrity. I'm gonna be going on Royal soon, spoiler alert. Coming up the next couple of months, I'm going to be going on Utopia of the Seas, so make sure you come back to see those. Very excited, first time on one of their mega ships. You get like 2 days worth of Wi-Fi for free. They give you like 5 free drinks a day, like vouchers that you can use any time of day. So I think you can't beat that. So long story short, Celebrity and Royal, I think, have it figured out on loyalty status. Next question, someone asked if I could do an UnCruise, a UnCruise next, and I didn't know what that was. I was like searching the internet for what an UnCruise was, but I found out it's a version of an expedition cruise. An expedition cruise is where they'll take you to like Antarctica or somewhere like that, and you get to sail around, which I think is awesome. It's on my bucket list. So no, I've not done an UnCruise, but I would love to do an expedition cruise, be it with UnCruise or any of the other lines that have those expedition type cruises, because Antarctica, the Galapagos, those are high on my list. I am a tourist at heart. Like, cruises are great. I love the cruise experience, of course. That's what I feature here on my channel. But I'm all about the destination, and I want to see the entire world. It's such a big world. I've come to the Caribbean so much. I'm actually in Bimini, Bahamas now. I'll show you back here. But come to the Bahamas and the Caribbean so much. I do want to explore as much as possible of this globe. So I think the expedition cruises are a great way to do that. So certainly on my list, but I haven't been able to do one yet, unfortunately. Next question is, are you going on Xcel? And they are referring to the Celebrity Xcel. That's going to be the 5th ship in the Edge series of celebrities ships, and absolutely I'm going to be going on Xcel. She debuts in November, and I'll be sailing on her in November, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, I'm excited to get on Xcel near the end of this year and see what she has to offer, and I certainly can't wait to bring you that content here on the channel. Next question is, what cruise line has the best package deals? And I don't even have to think about this one very much. I'm going to say hands down that it's Norwegian Cruise Line, because Norwegian Cruise Line includes a lot for the price of your cruise. Like, a lot of times it's like a drink package, it's Wi-Fi, usually it's minutes of Wi-Fi, and you have to upgrade if you want like an unlimited package. It's short excursions credit, and usually a specialty dining opportunity or 2 per guest is included. So I think that everything being wrapped up into the rate like that is the best. It's unfortunate that Celebrity doesn't offer the package rate like they used to. They used to do the always included package where you would get like the Wi-Fi, or you would get the beverage package and your gratuities included. They don't do that anymore. But I think Norwegian, if you haven't sailed with them, I like the ships I've been on with them so far, and I really like the things that are included when I sail with them. This next question is really easy for me to answer. They're saying MSC versus Royal Caribbean, question mark. That's easy. Royal Caribbean, hands down. MSC is the only cruise line that I've sailed on yet that I said I would never go on again. We'll see if that holds in the future, but right now I've not been convinced that I need to go on them. It just wasn't for me, and I have videos from that back in 2021, so go back and check on my channel and see why I won't be sailing with MSC anytime soon. Next question is, what's one thing you never want to eat on a cruise ship again? And that's gonna be, I had to think about this one a bit, because I'm not a picky eater. Like, I'll eat anything. And I think one of the best parts of cruising, if you're a foodie like me and you like to try new things, is the opportunities are endless to try new things you've never eaten before. And most of the things that I've tried that were new to me are like different to me. I've enjoyed. One thing though, I was sailing recently with my parents on Celebrity Beyond, and I was like, oh, we're gonna try the escargot. They're so good. And I'd never really tried them before myself, but I was trying to convince my parents to try them with me. And so we ordered some as an appetizer in the main dining room, and it wasn't for me. So I don't think I'll be eating the escargots in the dining room again. But other than that, I can't really think of anything else that I'm like, no, I'll never eat this again on a cruise. I wish it was something like sweets and ice cream, and I had an aversion to that, because those are my favorite things to eat on a cruise. I have a big sweet tooth, so I always have a problem with wanting to devour all the sweets when I go on a cruise. Next question, best craft cocktail cruise you've been on where every bar has a different drink menu. I'm not the best to answer this question. I'm not a drinker. I'm more of a soda, coffee guy. But from what I've seen on some of the cruises and some of the way they've been marketed, it does seem like the bigger cruise ships are gonna be your best option for that. So like Carnival, some of their newer ships like the Mardi Gras and Celebration and Jubilee. I know when I was on Mardi Gras on her inaugural cruise, there was just so many different bars, and they all had different menus. Similarly, Royal Caribbean, I think with their mega ships, I think they do the same thing. So if you're looking for something like that, try one of those, because they do have a lot of different bars and venues, so that you can sort of mix it up and get a variety of different options. Next question is, which cruise line gives the best prices for solos? Well, similar to my answer a minute ago about the cruise line that has the best packages, I'm gonna have to say it again, that's Norwegian Cruise Line. And Norwegian has made a promise to solo cruisers. They have staterooms that are designated just for solo cruisers. So they sell those at much less cost than double occupancy in a double room. So it's a really good value. I've stayed in a balcony, a solo balcony a couple of times. It's been just the standard balcony, but it's only for those solo guests that are cruising with them. So I think they're doing the best by solo cruisers. I will say that there are cruise lines like Celebrity that have, and even though I'm on a Celebrity ship right now, I have to be really quiet in saying this, I guess, look around and make sure they're not listening to me. But in recent years, they've really kind of let me down and disappointed me because of some of the policies that they've implemented for their solo cruisers, namely the 300% plus solo supplement. They were at one point charging solo cruisers more than they were charging a couple of cruisers, which was just atrocious in my opinion. They've since reversed that, so we'll see if that holds. But for now, Norwegian definitely has the best rates. You're going to be able to go for cheap. And like I said earlier, you're going to get a lot of inclusions. They're going to throw in a lot of packages. You're going to get usually a drink package. You're going to get Wi-Fi minutes. You're going to get short excursions credit. And you're going to get specialty dining opportunities. So check out Norwegian. Don't be afraid, especially their newer ships. I really like the Prima series of ships that's come out. I'm sold on the Prima, but I'm really eyeing the Aqua that comes out later this year. So I think their ships are really good, and I think you'll have a great time as a solo cruiser on Norwegian. What cruise destination is on your bucket list that you haven't been to yet? That's gonna be, I have a couple. I mentioned a minute ago about like the expedition cruises. I would love to see Antarctica. I do have a goal to make it to all continents, so I'll give you a few because these are the ones I'm lagging in and haven't been to yet. But I would love to go to South America. I would love to do in addition to going there to do an Antarctica expedition, I would also love to do Africa. I know that there's some cruise lines that do Africa. I would love to just go to Africa just to visit. Like that's like my #1 place that I want to go. I think it would be so cool to visit Africa. And then I would like to do more cruises in Asia too. I've been to Japan. I'm going to be going back to Japan soon because I love Japan so much. But I'd love to do more of like China, Vietnam, even over to India and places like that. I would love to see. So really anywhere on the globe that I haven't been to yet is on my list. Like I got to get to all the continents. It's got to happen. And what better way to get there than a cruise, right? Someone asked, have you ever sailed on Viking? And unfortunately I have not, but I really, really want to because I do like a smaller ship. And I think Viking does river cruises too. I'd love to do river cruises. I was talking to someone actually on this cruise yesterday about how they asked if I've ever done a river cruise. I said no, but I would love to because there's so many places in Europe that I haven't been to, even though I've been on a lot of cruises in Europe. But you just can't get to a lot of places in Europe via a ocean liner, you know, via a typical cruise ship. So I would like to go on a river cruise. Definitely on the list to try Viking at some point. Okay, got a question here, another celebrity related question. Is the Concierge class worth the additional cost on Celebrity? I've stayed in Concierge class a couple times. In fact, the first cruise I ever took on Celebrity was in Concierge class. I know now, because it's been a few years since I've sailed with them, I'm not quite sure of all the things that are included with Concierge class, but I know previously it was things like a better location on the ship, so maybe your stateroom, all those staterooms, by the way, Concierge class are balcony, veranda staterooms, but I know they would be like in more preferred locations higher up on the ship and maybe the center of the ship or the middle of the ship. I know that they include now like a welcome lunch. I think they might have the daily canapes delivered to the room. You have access to the concierge on board, but for me, that's just, it doesn't justify the price. I've seen the price of Concierge class and it's a lot, like it's a lot of money. So for me, it's not worth it. Like a lot of times the preferred location, you know, you're gonna be like right under the buffet or something. It's gonna be kind of noisy anyways. So it's not for me. I wouldn't recommend it personally. I would say if you're gonna upgrade to anything, you wanna upgrade to Aqua class because then you get to go to Blue at least and you have an exclusive dining experience for every meal on your cruise. And Blue, in my opinion, is the best place to eat on any Celebrity ship, even better, I would argue, than Lumine. So look into going to Aqua. If you want to upgrade to something, go to Aqua. Don't waste your money on Concierge though, that's my personal opinion. All right, next question is, and there's a couple like this, I think I kind of touched on this earlier, but I wanna make sure I get this straight for all you all. In your opinion, what is the best cruise line for a solo traveler? And there's a lot of things that go into that. I would say right now, some cruise lines that are really good for solo travelers are those that are offering staterooms just for solo cruisers, and these are going to be cruise lines like Virgin. They have rooms just for solo cruisers, and I think Virgin is one, especially if you're an extroverted solo cruiser, you can go on and really get, you know, into the partying with everybody else. You can make friends easily on there. I like Celebrity when they're charging appropriately, not when they're charging 300% solo occupancy rates, because it's a laid-back vibe. I'll say that Royal's okay, but I feel like because Royal is so family-oriented, everybody's there with a family, so it may not be as easy to like acclimate and like find a friend group because everybody's kind of there with their family. Carnival is not, I wouldn't say they're great. They don't have any staterooms that are just for solo cruisers on any of their ships, so I would say no to Carnival. And I think I would say that the best cruise line for solo cruisers is going to be Norwegian. And again, that's because of the pricing, because they're not gouging solo cruisers. They're offering they've made a commitment that on all their ships across their entire fleet, they're going to have rooms just for solo cruisers. And then so many things are included with their rate, as I mentioned a bit ago. So I'm going to say Norwegian is your best option if you're a solo cruiser. And they have some really great itineraries. Like they cruise all over the world. I talked about going to Africa. I think they're one of the few mainstream cruise lines that actually go to Africa. So you're going to be able to pretty much go anywhere you want to on Norwegian. You're gonna pay a great price and you're really gonna enjoy the experience, I think. Next question is, when are you gonna have a group cruise? And that's a great question. Unfortunately, I haven't had time. I am very limited in the amount of, some of you might be like, whatever, you cruise all the time. But I am limited on time on when I can go on cruises, so it makes it difficult for me to plan something like that. I really depend on being able to cruise to create content, and I feel like taking on a group cruise is a lot of planning and coordinating that I haven't been able to do yet, but I have been wanting to. It's something that I've thought about. It's something that I've talked with a couple of travel agents about, maybe helping to coordinate and organize. So be on the lookout. I think in the next couple of years, it could be a real possibility, especially if there's interest. So let me know too, if there's more interest, then maybe it's something that we can make happen. I think it would have to be probably in the Caribbean to make it accessible to everyone. Again, it is something that I would like to do because I do enjoy meeting you all when I travel, when I go on these cruises. So I think it would be cool to just be cruising with a group of people and be able to share excursions and just, you know, things like that. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm sure a group cruise will come at some point, but no definitive plans as of now to do one. I've got several questions here about what cruise lines. Have you tried this cruise line or that cruise line? I thought it would just be easier to tell you what cruise lines I have been on. I started sailing with Carnival as a child, and my parents took me on a couple cruises, and then I thought like Carnival was all there was really. I went on one Royal cruise in that time when I was sailing with Carnival, but didn't like it as much. But then I came around and actually really enjoy Royal Caribbean now. And then I went over to Celebrity and tried them for the first time, and I've been hooked on Celebrity. I just love the cruising experience on Celebrity. The food is some of the best food at sea. The service is so great. I love the crew. So Celebrity is my favorite. But I always want to caution me saying that Celebrity is my favorite with, it's very subjective. You know, it really depends on who you are, who you're cruising with, what you're looking for in a cruise, as to what cruise line I would recommend to you or say might be your favorite. So take everything I say with a grain of salt when I say it's my favorite. It's because of reasons that fit me and are sort of fit to my preferences. I've also been on Virgin, enjoyed Virgin voyages. I've been on one of them. I want to get on another one at some point, just no plans to yet. I have been on Norwegian, of course. I've been on Norwegian a few times now, and I've always really enjoyed their ships. And like I've said many times in this video, enjoy the pricing that they give to solo cruisers and all they included. Oh, Margaritaville at Sea. Margaritaville at Sea is one of the newest cruise lines to come onto the scene, but I really enjoyed their Margaritaville at Sea Islander, and I really want to try that one out again. They're going to be offering longer cruises from Tampa in addition to their 4-night cruises that they offer from that port. And I know that they're going to be planning to add more ships to their fleet in the future. So Margaritaville at Sea is one to watch. I think that's it. I think that exhausts my list of cruise lines that I've been on so far. Oh, Princess. I've been on Princess, and I enjoyed Princess, and that's another one I want to get back on at some point. I really liked it. But other than that, I've not been on any others. So really, I've just been on the mainstream big cruise lines. Haven't really had the opportunity to go on any of the smaller ones yet, but I hope to very soon. We would love to try Celebrity. The Edge class is out of our budget. What is the best older ship? Well, that's a very good question. I love the Edge series ships. I always highlight how much I love those, but I understand they can be very expensive, and cruising in general has gone up a lot. And if you're looking at cruises in the future, I feel like the way that things are trending, you're going to pay more and more and more. So yeah, it is going to be a premium price to sell on the Edge series. But I think in terms of Celebrity's older ship, I'm on a Solstice series ship right now. I think those are your best option. And in fact, I'm currently on the Celebrity Silhouette. These are some of the cheapest cruises that you can go on any cruise line right now. These short cruises that Celebrity's offering in the wintertime down to the Caribbean, they're so cheap. They're selling them at like a fire sale price almost, because I'm always looking at prices. Believe it or not, if you've seen some of the cruise experiences I've had, I do like to be budget as possible. I do like a good value in my cruising. So I do always look to see which cruises are on sale, which cruises are available at a cheap price. And these cruises, these short cruises that Celebrity's been offering, have been cheaper than any other cruise line. Like any cruise I could have gone on with any other cruise line. So check those out. But the Solstice class ships are really good. That's Celebrity Solstice, Celebrity Equinox, Celebrity Eclipse, Celebrity Silhouette, and Celebrity Reflection. There's 5 of those. I think they're great. If you're going to go on the oldest class, it's the Millennium class. Just be aware what ship you're going on, because very few of those they're very old ships. They're 20 plus years old. Very few of them have been revolutionized or updated. So Celebrity Summit is a good option. I've been on her. She's been revolutionized. She looks like, Celebrity's more modern aesthetic on a smaller, older ship. So those are some of your options, but I would say you can't go wrong with Solstice class. Next question is, if you could magically embark on any ship in any itinerary, which and why? And I thought about this one, and I think I would say Silver Sea. They have a ship, one of their newest ships. I've seen some of the pictures of that ship, and I think it looks incredible. These are smaller ships, and I think all of the rooms are pretty much suites. So it is a premium. Like it's very expensive to travel with that one. So it's not on my list, like not actually anything planned. But if I could just magically be there without having to pay for it, I would love to do that. And I would probably sell, like I mentioned, somewhere in Africa, somewhere in Asia. They have a lot of really interesting itineraries. I would also love to do like one of those very premium cruise lines, maybe in Alaska, like with a land tour option where you get to see some interior Alaska, or maybe even Northern Europe again, because I love Northern Europe, Iceland, Norway, and anywhere in Japan. So if you've not been to Japan yet, if you've not cruised in Japan, I highly recommend that you do. I'm going to be featuring more Japan on this channel in 2025. I'm going to be cruising there this summer, and I can't wait to bring you that content. So yeah, any of those places on Silver Sea or a similar premium cruise line. I really want to get into the premium cruising and see what that's like. So thank you so much for watching this video and hearing me answer these questions. I hope you found it informative and I hope you learned a lot. We have one more question to go and I'm going to answer that one now. But I did want to thank you, and make sure you go follow me on Instagram so that we can connect more over there. And you can submit your questions the next time we do these. I like doing these because I like knowing, like, it sort of helps to target like the content and the information that I give you, because you're telling me what you want to know. So feel free to send me questions anytime. I'll put these questions together for another video like this in the future. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. But the final question is the craziest thing I've seen a fellow guest do. And I will have to say, I was on a cruise back last fall, actually on Celebrity Eclipse. I'll just say the cruise that I was on. And every night I would go into the main dining room. There was a lady and her husband sitting at a table right near the entrance. So I don't know if they were requesting this table or not, but her behavior, the things that she was doing, led me to believe that they were requesting this table, because they were judging everyone's dress as they walked in, like what they were wearing. And because this was like a 10-night repositioning cruise and we were in like the ABCs, it was very hot there and long days in port, you know, people were wearing shorts in the main dining room. And for celebrities anytime dining, which is what I always get, where you can go to dinner at any time, they actually don't explicitly state some nights that you have to wear pants and that you can't wear shorts. So I wore shorts in one night, and I was walking into the main dining room and the lady looks at me, like dead in the face, she looks at me, and then she says to her husband, "Here comes another one." And I'm like, what is this? What is she like calling me out about? And then she's just like, oh, like her facial reactions and stuff, the things that she's saying was just very inappropriate to like look at people and say that on a cruise. Be on better behavior than that, folks. Like when you go on a cruise, like you're not the dress code police. That's for the people that are working, the maitre d' of the restaurant or the host of the restaurant. If they had a problem with my dress, they would have told me that I wasn't allowed to enter unless I changed what I was wearing. That's for them to decide. That's not for you to decide. So it wasn't just me either. I saw her comment on other people. Oh, look at them, look what they're wearing. Why even be like that? Why even be on a cruise? Stay at home and be upset about things at home. Don't try to ruin other people's vacation or other people's nights, because that really bothered me. It really affected me. And then I got over it. But yeah, don't do that. Don't be like that lady. So that's the craziest thing I've seen people do, is literally sit in the seat of judgment, request the same table every night right at the front of the restaurant so that you can look at what other people are wearing to dinner and make comments about it. How is that fun, and why is that a part of your cruise? I don't know. But yeah, anyway, that's the craziest thing, I guess. I haven't seen anything too crazy, thankfully. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please go down below, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.